And who are we speaking with tonight?
And my name is Tamika.
Tell us a bit about yourself, Miss Tamika.
Well, I'm a certified welder from SWIC. I also graduated from Calc as an administrative specialist. Have an associate's degree in early childhood education from Kaskaskia. You know, I was at home one day with my father and he was like, "You're running out of time, Tamika." I'm like, "Okay." But before that, security license, private locksmithing, information processing. I like to stay current on Microsoft. It's 2025. I think the last one was, I need to go home and check, but I know they upgrade every couple years. You know what I mean? The basics are all the same. However, I like to speak positive. I like to keep my thoughts clear. I like to keep my home clean. That helps out a lot. I'm by myself or whatever. People knows that there's no sense of me asking people for things, when they need things they self, One thing about me, I try not to conform myself to the ways of the world, which means every time I feel like I need support mentally, if you notice my shirt, mental health does matter. Mental health matters. Everybody needs that comfort and support mentally, emotionally. However, I feel like everybody, I don't care, everybody not ugly. It's some good people out here. So what more can I say?
What kind of household did you
Grow up in?
Was it a single parent? Two parents?
I had two parents, a mother and father. My mother, she was from Seoul, South Korea. And, my father, he was in the army when he met her. If I can't do nothing else, the least I can do is honor and respect my mother.
Brothers and sisters?
I had one sister, Andrea. She died at the age of 41. She had a stroke. I'm not laughing.
What schools did you go to growing up?
I went to Morrison, which is right here. I graduated from Eastside in 2001. I went to Kennedy and King.
What did you do after you graduated? Where did life take you?
Because of the discipline and, at least me and my mother, we had our own business, Young's Beauty on State Street. But because of, I mean, my father was just so strict on my education. I feel like if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have continued my education. You know, even as an adult, you're never too old to go back to school and learn something. You know, an education. Listen, I'm not out here trying to sell my degrees and certificates. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I don't think nobody gonna buy it. I mean, it's something that you can't sell. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's gonna be with you for the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
So you didn't have a job. You had a business.
I've been having jobs. Like, if my father came home from work and seen me, even when I was 15, he took me down to the Board of Education. I got my work permit at 15. I started rallies at the age of 15 years old, working 2 hours a day. And not only that, really, I started working at the age of 8. When my mother, she taught me how to use the cash register, right, at the beauty supply store. And I'm glad she did, but when she went to the back to use the restroom or whatever, here come the line. It was a line of people. And they was looking at me like, I'm like, okay, I had to do what I had to do. I'm glad she taught me how to use it. I had to ring them people out at the age of 8. I'm just glad she taught me. I mean, and they was looking like, do something. I'm like, okay. You know, back in them days, I used to always smell the product, you know. Even at the age of 8, you know, I opened up a jar. It said it had like an ounce of, even if it was hair grease or whatever. I opened up a jar. It was like a little dot for real. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, they ain't lying about an ounce. I'm like, damn, that's all y'all get. But you know what, though? It's okay. You know, I'm just trying to enjoy myself, be thankful for what I have, pray continually, and just be strong. You know, a lot of people say, why should I have to do this? Why? I mean, my sister, get up on your job. You know, before she died, she used to always say, she used to say, get up on your job, get up on your job. Okay. And that means fighting the battle of the Lord. You know, that's a good job to have from the Lord. I don't have to, listen, I go to work, I go to school because my father raised me better than that. I can't stand waking up with nothing to do. You know, I work at Bush Stadium, and I'm not afraid. You know, they pay for, my father worked there. You know,
what happened to the business that you guys had, your family business?
We went out of business. You know, I don't want to get into that, but considering the local, I mean, we just want, I know one thing, we weren't making no, even if,
What kind of
people doing smash and grabs. You know, I'm looking at the camera and, you know, you can't stop a thief. You can slow them down. You know, they breaking in, realizing it ain't nothing in the register but some change, and they grabbing stud earrings. You know, they coming through the roof, still in the air conditioning heat. You know, they doing smash and grabs. Let my bird all out. You know, I'm looking at my bird fly all out the. It just didn't work. You know, I'm thankful that we were there for 6 years, though.
What kind of advice could you give a young lady who's growing up with a similar background as yours, or strict, you know, what could you tell her?
Read your Bible, write it down. Let God be your instruction. Let Him give you the instruction, the rules to live by. You know, that's what I did. Even though we were slow, I sat there, I read my Bible, I wrote it down, you know. He brought me to a place where I had an opportunity to just study His Word, and I'm thankful for that. Because it's hard out here. Without discretion, God's instruction, understanding.
We appreciate you sharing with us, Miss Tamika.
Thank you.
And if there's anything you want to leave us with on the closeout, any advice, knowledge, wisdom, anything.
He teaches us how to pray. Read your Bible, find out how to pray, and do it. When you pray in secret, He rewards you openly. Thank you.
We appreciate you. And thank
You're
you.
welcome.